Well, Rudy, you get a twofer today. Got another update. Got the front frame section painted and reassembled today. So the front axle pivots and the spindles are both freed up. This one is pretty stuck. All the steering is all hooked back up. And I got the engine in, got the radiator in, got both the throttle and kill cable hooked up. Got the hydro linkage all back together. And got the hydro linkage adjusted so that way you actually get full throw on the hand lever to full throw on the hydro pump. Now granted, I don't know if neutral is going to be neutral. If it's not, I'll just have to take like a dry erase marker and make a mark on the outside of the guard here, I guess you'd call it, or plate. So that way I know where to put a new sticker. But that's a minor detail. I need to figure out radiator hoses. The top one's going to be easy because it's going straight from here down to here. The outlet is where it's going to get tricky because the outlet is down here and the inlet into the water pump is on this side of the engine. I really wish the outlet of the radiator was down here on this side, because then I could run the hose straight from here back up into the water pump. Excuse me, my mind is just, it's going on me. Not thinking too well in this cold. Now I just thought about this now. I suppose I could always like plug this one off, or just like put a hose clamp over this. I mean, these caps aren't all that great, but seal this off and then get a pipe fitting, like a 90-degree pipe fitting, plumb it into here. Just have a 90-degree from here and then run the hose from here up to the radiator. That would be the easiest. Otherwise, I have to run the hose either behind the alternator, up and over and around, or underneath the dryer shaft up alongside the serpentine belt to the water jacket, or the water inlet. So I still need to figure that out. Exhaust. Yeah, I'm going to figure out something to go right here. I do have a muffler. It's not really that great of one, I guess. It doesn't really fit all that well. But that's kind of a minor thing. I finally figured out when this backing plate was tightened down why the engine wouldn't turn over, and that's because the backing plate bolts that are behind the flywheel, they were loose. So I tightened all those down and the engine spins over fine now. I mean, I can kind of, sort of. There you can see it turning back and forth a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of coming down to the nitty-gritty stuff now. I need to work on my dryer shaft a little bit more, which is down there. Now that the engine is dropped lower because of the radiator, I have to shorten the dryer shaft a little bit more. I mean, it's already pretty darn short. The dryer shaft itself is only about 1 inch long. It's probably going to be about a 1/2 inch now. And then I need to figure out a fuel system. Originally, I was thinking about running the Sears fuel tank up here, and that would be fine and dandy, but I don't know if the injectors would like having the return line to be uphill, because this engine came out of a John Deere 330 or a 332. It's the same engine. And the tank was underneath the seat, so the engine is higher than the fuel tank. Hence the use of an electric fuel pump. And I'm still planning on using an electric fuel pump. I'll mount it off of one of these Onan tabs. And then that way I'd have the fuel line running down behind here, down to the fuel pump, out of the fuel pump, and up to the fuel filter. So I need to do some research on that and talk to some people in some Deere groups and other diesel groups and get their opinions on if they think it'd be okay to run the fuel tank above the engine, if the uphill return line would be okay. Because these Yanmar clone diesels They're the air-cooled ones, even the legit Yanmar diesels. The return line is ever so slightly uphill. It is about a 1-inch uphill travel. If I get it level, you can kind of see it is an uphill travel to the fuel tank, but it's not that high. Now, instead of running the return line to the top of the tank, I could run it into the side of the tank as an option. The only thing is it still needs to be above the fuel level for it to function correctly. So that's really my biggest battle right now, because if I don't run the fuel tank up here, I will run the battery up here, and then the fuel tank needs to go underneath the tractor somehow. And I would still like to run a mower deck on this tractor, and I have an idea of how I'm going to make that happen to get power from the engine down to the deck. But I need to have room, again, like I said, for a fuel tank. And, well, at the end of the day, the mower deck might be a second thought, or a plan B. But just for right now, just to get it running, I mean, I could always just mount a fuel tank, like make a couple of brackets and then just have it sitting on the side of the frame for right now, just to at least get it running and operational and see how it does. Work the bugs out of it before I go crazy and make a fuel tank, a flat fuel tank that goes underneath the tractor. So, yeah, with that being said, enough rambling on, and I think I'm going to go back inside. So, I'll talk to y'all later.